And Artha means, that will keep us in this samsara happily. We will be very happy in this samsara. And that's a total misunderstanding. In other words, that's a mithya ditti that every human being has until they comprehend Dhamma and become Sotapanna. But those who have come to Sotapanna Marga are gradually realizing it, and they are in different stage of realization. So Milind and Vinay have been listening to our Dhamma for nearly just over 2 years now. We started, sorry, nearly 2 years. We started in April 21. So it's 2 years now, coming on to 2 years. So Vinay and Milind have made a lot of progress, and I'm sure they have passed some of the Dhamma that they learned to their other family members as well. And Sanjay also has listened to Dhamma sermons. You see, a lot of people, even though they are unable to join the live session, they receive recordings from their friends, relations, and listen to them and send me comments. Whether they send comments or not, what is important is that they listen to Dhamma and they learn something out of it and start practicing Dhamma, realize the importance of practicing Dhamma. So that way Vinay and Milind have done a great job, and all those merits that we have accumulated, we will be able to transfer them at the end of the session to Sanjay. So the I was talking of the every cloud has a silver line. That that's not only just an English saying, that is also a Dhamma saying. That's in Buddha Dhamma also, because every cloud, now the cloud here is that our beloved Sanjay, beloved late brother of Milind, and beloved late brother-in-law of Vinay passed away. So when we think about it, we all feel sad. So that's the cloud. But the silver lining is there are a lot of things we can learn out of that, out of this untimely death of this young man that we all have heard of. Some of us knew better, some of us knew very little about. You see, every time when a young man passes away, he was quite young, he was only 54, and no one expects someone to die at 54. You see, the thing is that people don't realize the anicca, dukkha, anatta nature of life. You will only understand it if you listen to Lord Buddha's correct Dhamma and comprehend it. You see, then only you'll be able to change your lifestyle and gradually get rid of mithya ditti and come to sammaditthi. And firstly, according to Lord Buddha's teachings, protect yourself from the four hells, and then move forward from there and eradicate suffering completely. Now, some people say, oh, Buddha Dhamma is a depressing religion. It talks about suffering all the time. And, if you listen to Buddha Dhamma, you go crazy. You see, now the point they are missing is Buddha Dhamma is not a religion that talks about suffering. It is it is a scientific philosophy which explains to us how to eradicate suffering gradually and take ourselves to a place where there is no suffering at all. You see, so Buddha Dhamma is not talking about suffering. It's about teaching how to eradicate suffering. That's what people have to understand. So Lord Buddha said life is like a drop of rainwater hanging at the tip of a leaf, waiting to fall onto the ground anytime. I keep saying this all the time because, I can't say it enough for people to understand. If people understand that, fully comprehend it, they will change their lifestyle completely. Because that is the fact of life. You see, I am one of those drops, you are one of those drops. We could drop at any time. But, until you become Sotapan, you plan so many things in life. When a person comes to this world, he starts accumulating. First he will start to accumulate knowledge. Then he will start, little baby will start to accumulate knowledge. Then the people, starting with the mother, then gradually he will start to accumulate wealth. He will have his own toys, and he will not like other people touching those toys. They are my toys, and so on. You see, that's the nature of human life, because humans live in an illusion. And Lord Buddha called it moha. Moha means not knowing Dhamma. Dhamma is the universal laws. You see, Lord Buddha did not make a religion, or he invented the religion. He simply explained how this universe works. Universe works according to a certain way, and the modern world call it science. And so Lord Buddha explained those universal laws. That what he meant by Suva Asuva Dahasak Dhammaskanda. Suva means the things that we should do, Asuva means things we shouldn't do. Dhammaskanda means, Dhamma means the universal laws that are existing. Kanda is a mountain. Can you count how many pieces of soil in a mountain? You cannot, right? So similarly, in the mountain of Dhamma, you cannot count the number of, how many words of Dhamma, how many sentences of Dhamma included in that mountain. That mountain is full of Dhamma. So that's what Lord Buddha discovered, the mountain of Dhamma, out of which he explained to us the things that we should do and shouldn't do. And there's only one thing we shouldn't do, he said. He said, Kamesu Michachara Veramani Sikapadan Samadhyami. That is the only sila that we have to observe, right? If we observe that sila, we will observe all the other silas. We will observe Panatipata, we will observe Adinadana, we will observe Suramere, we will observe, all the precepts we will observe. If we can observe one sila. Once a Buddhist monk went to, Samanera monk went to Lord Buddha and said, I'm going to disrobe myself. And Lord Buddha asked why. He said, yet alone practicing these 229 precepts that you have laid down for monks, I can't even remember them. Well, Lord Buddha said the majority of the monks can't remember them. All you have to do is, observe one sila, which is Kamesamichachara. Kamesamichachara doesn't mean sexual misconduct. That's a totally wrong translation. Kamesamichachara means misconduct of your eyes, ears, nose, body, tongue, and the mind. To put it in a simpler way, using our eyes, ears, nose, body, tongue, and the mind with raga, dvesha, moha. We start with the sanchetana. In other words, a thought that is made up, construction of a thought made up of raga, dvesha, moha, and which will, force us to construct thoughts. When Rupa Vedana Sanya comes to our mind, if we start our thoughts with the Sanchetana, it will force us to construct a thought with Raga, Desha, Moha, and which could lead to action with Raga, Desha, Moha. So it's just one precept that we have to observe, you see. Lord Buddha said it, Kotyak Sangvara Sila. So if we observe this one sila, it will protect you from unlimited number of sins that you can commit. So that's what we have to realize. Buddha Dhamma is not a difficult religion. It's not a difficult, it's not a religion at all. It's a science. Lord Buddha explained to us very beautifully in very simple language. And it tells us what we should do and shouldn't do in life. You see? Suva Asuva Dahasak Dhammaskanda. Suva means things we should do, and Asuva means things we shouldn't do. So only thing he said we shouldn't do is Kamesamichachara, misconduct of eyes, ears, nose, body, tongue, and the mind. So this is what Lord Buddha has explained throughout the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra. He said the reason, what is suffering, he said, and then the reason for suffering, out of suffering, and the way out of suffering. So this way out of suffering will take us out of suffering gradually. Once we clear the first part, first difficult part, most difficult part, one could say the most important part, not the difficult part. The most important part is becoming Sotapanna. The first stage You comprehend Dhamma and you change your lifestyle completely. You start living the right way. When we say right way, the way that will help you to eradicate Raga, Dvesha, Moha and develop Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upekka. Then your wholesome thoughts, your wholesome qualities will be greater than your unwholesome qualities, and your wisdom will be greater than your vijnana. So wisdom will develop gradually more and more, and vijnana will deteriorate little by little, and it will get weaker and weaker and weaker. Eventually, vijnana will disappear completely, and wisdom will maximize to the highest possible level, and you will comprehend Dhamma that is necessary to take you to Nibbana, which is the complete understanding of the Four Noble Truths. So it's as simple as that, very, very easy, and it's not complicated at all. So what is important, I'm taking this opportunity to explain to you the importance of learning Buddha Dhamma and giving priority to it and becoming Sotapanna as soon as possible, because all of you can do it. I know all of you can do it. And it's just that some of you don't practice. I know those who are practicing and those who are not practicing, because when they talk to me, sometimes it comes out of them, sometimes from what they're saying. I could see those who are trying to practice, and those who are not trying. Some are not trying at all, some are not trying enough, giving a half-hearted effort. You see, a half-hearted effort is not good enough. See, you must give a full-hearted effort. So, think about this now. At least, look at what happened to our beloved Sanjay, beloved brother of Milind. He never thought that he will pass away at the age of 54. His siblings didn't think, and no one thought, no one expects a young man to pass away at 54, because you see, people live in illusion, people live in moha. But the fact is, we could die at any time. So from the moment we come to the world, we will be able to understand Dhamma at a young age. Is the duty of the parents to direct people, the direct children to learn Dhamma, make them to give priority to Dhamma. Now, let me give you one example from our family. I have a first cousin who's an accountant, and her husband has MBA from Harvard, and they had two children, and all they did was, made them, pestered them to study and do sports and studies and sports. So the boy became London A levels commerce stream first in the world, and then he got a scholarship to Vancouver University, and today he's a tax manager working for Price Waterhouse, and he doesn't know anything about Dhamma, right? And he doesn't care for the parents, and he's just enjoying his life. And parents are sitting here in Sri Lanka crying. The children are not come. Same with the daughter. Daughter is living in New York, and she's working for the Citibank. She also became a bright student, and both of them became very, very bright students, because that's all the parents wanted them to do. So parents, really pushed them hard for studies, but they didn't realize the importance of Dhamma. Lord Buddha has explained there are 44 qualities in Salleka Sutra that parents should teach their children. Now, some of you are parents now, you still have children under the age of 16 that who are under your control to a certain extent, and you are at a time, you still have the opportunity to direct those children into the correct direction of life. Education is important, sports are important, everything else is important. But remember, Dhamma is most important. Because if you bring up children without Dhamma, what will happen to you is what happened to my cousin. You see, she and her husband are sitting here alone in a big house in Sri Lanka crying and saying that our children don't phone us, they don't care for us, they don't come to see us, and when we go to see them, they don't care much. Because can you blame the children? No, it's the fault. It was the fault of the parents. Parents did not know Dhamma. That's the problem. Parents did not know Dhamma, and they didn't know what to teach the children. They thought the only thing that we should teach our children is to educate, get the highest qualification, make the maximum amount of money, and enjoy yourself. So that's what the children are doing now. You can't blame them, can you? So, take this opportunity to learn from it. Some of you have young children under the age of 16, and at least from now on, make sure you give the priority to teaching them Dhamma. I'm not saying take them out of the school or stop sending them for sports altogether. Those things are necessary to, survive in this world, because before we practice Dhamma, first we have to live, and we have to earn a living. Earning a living doesn't mean we have to have two PhDs and earn $100,000 a year. If you are sensible, if you have a sensible education, let's say a bachelor's degree, or even without a bachelor's degree, there are people who earn a reasonable living. Sorry about going into these figures, but it's a fact, because we live in a monetaristic society. Everything is measured in money. So you don't need $100,000 to live. To live a simple life, uh, you know, 20,000 or $2,000 a month is enough. I'm talking of, US dollars, because everyone understands that currency. That's the currency that's used for international trade. And most people are familiar with that currency than any other currency in the world. So that's why I'm using that to explain this. I mean, some people who are not familiar with dollars may not know what I'm talking about, but the majority of the people here understand. You see, you don't have to kill yourself to earn £1 million, or you don't have to force your children to study too hard and, get too many qualifications and end up, earning a lot of money without knowing Dhamma. It's okay to earn money. It's okay to get double PhD and earn £10 million a year, but make sure your children will know Dhamma, and you give priority when if you make a list of 10 things, prioritize them. The top priority should be teaching them. Teach them the 44 qualities that Lord Buddha has explained in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra. You will be so happy that you did it. One day, you'll be so happy because you will have children who will care for you, who will care for the others, who will care for the society, who will care for the environment. That's what we lack today. You say today's education is pushing children towards getting qualifications, earning money, and living what they call a comfortable, luxurious life, and not teaching the good qualities, what we call guna dharma. In Pali they call it guna dharma. I'm sure most of you will understand what it means. In English, we can say good qualities. So that is what is important as parents. So there are several things that we can learn from this opportunity. There are several silver lines in this cloud. The things that we can learn is, firstly, as parents, what we should give priority to as far as our children are concerned. Remember that, I can't, go into it in more detail, then it becomes personalized and people might get hurt, and that's not right. And I'm making very general statement here, as Lord Buddha explained in Salleka Sutra. For your children, make sure you give priority to make sure that they learn the 44 good qualities in Salleka Sutra, and they practice them. Give second priority to others, whether they want to do double PhD or earn £100 million. There's nothing wrong with it, as long as they know Dhamma, and whatever they do it with Maitri Karuna Mudita Upekka, and not with Raga Desha Moha. So I hope parents will understand that. And for those who are, whether parents or not, all of you are in your middle age. Some of you are middle age. I hope you wouldn't mind calling me middle age. What I mean by middle age is 50. I am 64 now, so I have passed. I'm an old man now. but none of you are old. You are still young, but some of you are in middle age. So remember, don't think that I am only 50 now, I have another 50 years to go. I have plenty of time for learning Dhamma. And so I will give first, I will make my first million or first 10 million, and then I will learn Dhamma. Don't make that mistake, you see, because remember, life is like a drop of rainwater hanging at the tip of a leaf, waiting to fall onto the ground anytime. I am one of those leaves. I could kick the bucket anytime. So that's why I keep telling you while I am here, listen to my Dhamma, learn whatever you can learn from me. I am not charging you anything. I am not keeping an account of what I teach you and try and send you an invoice in the next life. Don't worry. No, I won't send invoices. I won't send statements. You don't owe me anything. Just learn Dhamma and from me or someone else, and at least become Sotapanna in this life and protect yourself from the four hells. That's what Lord Buddha said. If you have any respect for Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and for your own sake, for the sake of your family, if you become Sotapanna, you can, help your family to become Sotapanna. Lord Buddha said that's the most important single thing that you should do as a human being. If you get the opportunity to become a human being in this world, it's a rare opportunity because all of us circulate, between. Lord Buddha said, if we live, 91 geons in this 31 planes. A eon is the kalpa or kappa, which is a very, very long time. And he said if we live 91 eons in these 31 planes, more than 90 will be spent in the four hells. You see? Because we don't know Dhamma until we become Sotapanna. We do crazy things. Lord Buddha said, Sabbe Prutakjana Umattaka. Umattaka means mad. Prutakjana is those who don't know Dhamma, those who are not Sotapanna. So Lord Buddha said, those who are not Sotapanna are doing mad things all the time. Don't get me wrong. Don't get Buddha Dhamma wrong. And don't blame Lord Buddha. He's telling the truth. Just think about it. All of you are intelligent and wise people. Don't waste all your life getting qualifications and making money, because money is necessary, but you can have only 3 meals a day, right? You can live in only one house. You can drive only one car at a time. Remember, all that money, all that knowledge, all those people you're accumulating throughout your life, whether you live 50 years or 100 years, it is guaranteed that you will lose them in 1 second, right? So all those things are temporary. They are anicca, dukkha, anatta. You cannot have them forever. Don't accumulate too much. You don't need them, right? Just work out what you need and collect it. Nothing wrong with it. But while you are doing it, give priority to Dhamma. Because if you give priority to Dhamma, you will live in the correct way. And whatever the things that you do, your education, your job, you will, the good deeds that you do will help you to progress in these things as well. These two things have to go hand in hand. What we do to earn a living, what the Lord Buddha called, loka. In the loka, what we do, loka means in these 31 planes. First, we have to survive as a human being. For survival, we have to have the basic necessities: food, medicine, clothing, and shelter. But these are the 4 basic necessities one needs to live. Whether you are a monk or a lay person, man or woman, these are the 4 basic things that you need to live. And, to earn that, to have those 4 things, you don't have to kill yourself and get, 3 PhDs and study till 100, 50 years old, and, try and accumulate 5 houses and so many properties and so on. It's pointless. You see, what you need is accumulate what you need to survive. And the purpose of your life, human life, should be to learn Dhamma, practice Dhamma, and, eradicate suffering and go to a place where there is no suffering. But permanent place without suffering, There's only one. Lord Buddha called it Nibbana. Believe me, it is there and you can get there. So think about it. This is food for thought, right? I'm explaining you practical Dhamma from what Lord Buddha's teachings. I am explaining to you, putting them into practical situations. So at least, every day, spend 10 minutes thinking about this. Then you will realize what you should do and shouldn't do. And please join my Dhamma sermons every week. We are having every other week now, the English sessions. And they are all on the internet. There are 30 sermons on the internet. Please listen to them. You have 24 hours a day. If you spend just 1 hour on Dhamma, you see you are spending less than 5% of your time. If you spend 10% of your time, you will spend 2 hours. 2 hours, 2 hours plus 40%. 40% of 1 hour is how many minutes? So that's 60. Let's say that's another 25 minutes or 20 minutes. So you will spend, if you spend 10% of your time on Dhamma, which is the most important thing, you will spend 2 hours and 20 minutes every day. I'm not even asking you to do that. Initially, at least spend 1 hour, right? Is less than 5% of your time. For goodness sake, you have 95% of your time to do whatever you want to do. Accumulate your knowledge, accumulate your people, accumulate your wealth. At least keep 5% of your time to listen to Dhamma, right? There are Dhamma sermons on the internet. Just spend 1 hour a day, right? When I say 1 hour a day to some people, they say, my goodness, how am I going to find 1 hour? I'm very busy already. What happens if you die now? You see, what are you going to do with you? Are you going to take your knowledge? Are you going to take your people? Are you going to take your wealth? No. You come to this world with nothing. You leave this world with nothing. For goodness sake, listen to Dhamma, teach Dhamma to your children, and make sure you become Sotapanna as soon as possible. So I will stop my Dhamma sermon there. And if anyone wants to say anything, you can have the opportunity now. I will give 10 minutes. After that, I'm going to transfer merits to Sanjay, beloved late brother of Milind Tamke and the late brother-in-law of Vinay Kobrakade, and end this session. So I can give you 10 minutes. If anyone wants to say anything, please take this opportunity and say whatever you like to say. I mean, you can take 5 minutes each if you like, and then we will end the session. So it's over to you. Anyone who wants to say anything, please take this opportunity and say whatever you like to say.
Vandami Bhanteji, Vinaya, thank you so much for the wonderful Dhamma discourse today.
You are welcome.
Dedicating it to Sanjay Dada as well as helping us understand the Dhamma again and helping us understand the importance of Dhamma. That everything we bring nothing, and then we take away nothing, but Dhamma remains with us. I think that was very powerful. So Bhanteji, thank you so much for just being with us and being our guide throughout our journey, this life. And it means a lot. And I think thank you so much for again emphasizing the importance of Dhamma learning at a very early age with children. So thank you so much for your discourse today.
You're
Very,
most
very
welcome, Vinay.
insightful.
You are
Very
most welcome.
insightful.
Your contribution and your efforts to this group, starting this group, I would appreciate it very, very much, both of you. And I'm very grateful to both of you. Thank you very much. Anyone else who wants to say anything? Please take this opportunity. We don't have all that much time now. So it's coming on to, 10 o'clock in the night. It's coming on to 10 o'clock in the night in India. Is it 10 o'clock? Anyone from India?
That's right.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes. So I want to try and end this session a little early today. So if anyone wants to take this opportunity, please say so. Take the opportunity now. If Nagsen has joined us late, Naksen, please take this opportunity. Anyone else who hasn't spoken so far? Rajkumar, Ambade. Rajkumar, would you like to say a few words? I think Namsen hasn't joined us so far. Is that correct, Rima?
Yes, Bhanteji, he hasn't joined
He
yet.
hasn't come home yet, right? Okay, he must be still at work. I know the responsibilities. Yes,
Yes.
additional responsibility. I'm a bit surprised that Pankaj Mishram and Sheetal Mishram haven't joined us today. I was sure that they will join. Maybe they have some good reason, and I will speak to them later. Okay. Now, so I think everyone has said what they wanted to say. Deepani Patirana. Deepani, would you like to say a few words? Deepani, are you there? Okay, so we will transfer.
Bhanteji, this is
Yes.
Milind.
Hi, Milind.
Hi, thank you so much for your talk. And I just want to say one thing here that whatever I have been through in last 1 year, this Dhamma talks really helped me a lot to understand that a lot of things that's going on with me is also to do with my attachment to my brother, my family. But something even more than that is that my conditioning attachment to the traditions, the expectations, and what's what's there with our attachment to the families and and the culture that we inherit. So a lot of attachments that just comes out very clearly, uh, and it I would say thanks to you for walking us through this path. Thank you so
You're
much.
most welcome for making that point. You see, now, when we talk about attachments, I have explained there are two types of attachments. Attachment with Raga, Dvesha, Moha is bad. Attachment with Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeka is good. Only Lord Buddha has explained this, you see. All the other religions talk about attachment, but no one has differentiated these two so beautifully. Attachment with Raga, Dvesha, Moha is one extreme, but attachment with Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeka is good, produces good results. So this is the importance of learning Buddha Dhamma. And I'm so glad that people like Milind and Vinay have, realized it, comprehended it, and put it into practice. You see, this is what is necessary. Okay, now out of today's discussion, a lot of important Dhamma points were discussed, and a lot of people so the people who have joined today, they learn things, and a lot of people will listen to this Dhamma in the future on the internet, in the social media, and so on, and learn Dhamma. So, we have, during this session, we have completed 10 meritorious deeds, right? The 10 meritorious deeds are Dana, Sila, Bhavana. So, Dana is we are giving Dhamma Dana to people. Sila, during this session, we have observed the one Sila, which is, controlling our six senses, eyes, ears, nose, body, tongue, and the mind, and not having Raga, Desha, Moha thoughts, and having Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeka thoughts. Most of us have managed to do it during most of the time. So that's Dana Sila Bhavana. Bhavana is meditation. So listening to Dhamma is a form of meditation. Meditation means, once again, keeping a mind full of Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeka thoughts, and not allowing Raga, Desha, Moha thoughts to come in. See, these things are so connected to each other, and the dividing line is so thin. They overlap each other. So, Dana, Sila, Bhavana, then transferring of merits and receiving of merits that we are going to do now. Uh, then listening to Dhamma and discussing Dhamma. So that's how many? 4 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then the last three are Now let me think. You see, the respecting those who deserve respect. So in this case, Vinay and Milind are respecting their brother-in-law. All of us are respecting him for what he has contributed to the society, and that's why we are transferring marriage to him. So that's respecting those who deserve respect. Then paying our respect to Lord Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha by discussing Dhamma and realizing the importance of Dhamma. We pay our respect to Dhamma, and we pay respect to the Sangha who explains that Dhamma, and also automatically we respect the Buddha who rediscovered that Dhamma and taught it to the Sangha who are teaching us, right? So then the last one is Sammaditi. During this time, we have kept our away from Mityaditi, and we have learned something about Sammaditi. So we have completed 10 meritorious deeds, and that's a massive amount of merits according to Buddha Dhamma. So all those merits that we have accumulated today, as well as all the merits that we have accumulated throughout our samsara, we all, when we come to this world as a human being, we come with a huge mountain of merits and huge mountain of sins. Maybe our sins were greater than the merits, but still we have a huge mountain of merits that we can transfer to the others. So we added more merits into that mountain today, and we are going to double it, multiply it by transferring it to the others. As Lord Buddha said in Thiloguda Sutra, firstly, always when we engage in a meritorious deed, we should transfer merits firstly to our relatives who have passed away. So in this case, we are first, I like to mention, we are transferring merits to Milind's beloved late brother and Vinay's brother-in-law, Sanjay Tamke, who passed away at the age of 54, just 15 days ago, as reminded by Milind. And firstly, we are thinking of him. Then we think of all the other relatives we had in the past. We are all here because of Bodhisattva Bharat Ratna Baba Sahib, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So we always transfer marriage to him, who is like a father to us. I'm sure he has been a father to all of us somewhere in this samsara. And that's why we have so much love, regard, respect, and reverence for him. Even though you are born in India and I was born in Sri Lanka and I lived in the UK and Milind and we live in USA, wherever we were born, wherever we live, we all have one thing in common, that is our love, respect, regard for Dr. Ambedkar, right? Because he's such a special person, a bodhisattva who's coming back as a Buddha one day. He's already a second Buddha to Indian Buddhists. So we always think of Dr. Ambedkar and his relations who have passed away. Then, you can think of your relations, especially your parents, your brothers, sisters, other blood relations, other relations, friends, teachers, neighbors, colleagues, your employees, employers, whoever that you have come across in this samsara, not only in this life, but throughout your samsara. You will remember some of them you have come across only in this life, some you may have forgotten now, but the truth is that there were so many, unlimited number. So just think of all of them, even though you can't remember them individually, just think of all of them. We'll transfer marriage to all of them, and may they all receive this marriage. With the power of this marriage, may they all be healthy, be happy, be free from worries, free from suffering. May all their good wishes come true. May all of them comprehend the Four Noble Truths and finally attain permanent happiness in Nibbana. In order to make those wishes, I am going to recite these gathas. If you know the gathas, you can recite them with me. Otherwise, you can say sadhu 3 times at the end of them. Idamme ñātīnaṁ hotu sukita hontu nātayo. Idamme ñātīnaṁ hotu sukita hontu nātayo. Idamme nang hotu sukita hontu natayo yatavari vahapura paripurenti sagarang evameva ito dinnang petanang upakappati unname udakang matang yataninang pavattati evameva ito dannang petanang upakappati. Now, next, we are going to transfer merits to all the living beings living on the 31 planes. In the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra, Lord Buddha explained that there are 20 Brahma Loka, 6 Divya Loka, Manusya Loka, the human world where we live in, and the 4 hells. 4 hells are the animal kingdom, the Bhuta Loka, Preta Loka, and the hell itself. So, all those living beings living on the 31 planes, may they all receive these merits. With the power of these merits, may they all be healthy, be happy, be free from worries, free from suffering. May all their good wishes come true. Especially our beloved Sanjay Tamke, wherever he is, right now he could be in the human world, he could be, perhaps he may have gone to Nibbana, we never know. Unless otherwise he has gone to Nibbana, he's in the 31 plane somewhere, wherever he is, may he receive all these merits. And with the power of these merits, all these living beings, especially Sanjay in this occasion, we think of Sanjay, may all of them be healthy, be happy, be free from worries, free from suffering. May all their good wishes come true. May all of them comprehend the 4 noble truths and finally attain permanent happiness in Nibbana. In order to make those wishes, I'm going to recite these gathas. If you know the gathas, you can recite them with me. Otherwise, you can say sadhu 3 times at the end of them. Ettavattachayam mehi sambadam punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabbe sampatti siddhya. Ettavattachayam mehi sambadam punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabbe sampatti siddhya. Ettavata chayammehi sambadam punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabbe sampatti siddhya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Next, with the power of all these merits, may all of you be healthy, be happy, be free from worries, free from suffering. May all your good wishes come true. May you be able to eradicate Raga, Desha, Moha completely and comprehend the 4 noble truths, and firstly become Sotapanna, and finally complete your path and go to Nibbana according to your wishes. In order to make those wishes, I'm going to recite these gathas. If you know the gathas, you can recite them with me. Otherwise, you can say sadhu 3 times at the end of them. Idamme jnati imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satan samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Idamme punya kamman asavakkaya vahan hotu sabba dukkha pamuchyatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Finally, in order to ask for forgiveness from the noble triple gem, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, I'm going to recite these gathas. If you know the gathas, you can recite them with me. Otherwise, you can say sadhu 3 times at the end of them. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bhante bhuri panya tathagata. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma samditthika akalika. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I'm going to give you the blessings of the Mahasangha. Abhivadana silisa nichang vadda pachayino chattaro dhamma vaddanti ayuvanno sukambalang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samichyatu bhavatu sabba mangalang rakkantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sabba dhammanubhavena Sabbasanga Anubhavena Sada Sati Bhavantute. May all of you be healthy, be happy, be free from worries, free from suffering. May all your good wishes come true. May all of you comprehend the Four Noble Truths and finally attain permanent happiness in Nibbana. May the Noble Triple Gem, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha bless you all. Namo Buddhaya, Jai Bhim.
Sadhu,
Sadhu,
sadhu.
sadhu,
Thank you so
sadhu.
much, Bhante.
You are welcome, Archana. I think Archana has recorded this session. Archana, if you can do the needful, we all will be grateful to you. Thank you very much, Archana. Thank you all very, very much, and see you in 2 weeks' time on internet. In the meantime, if you have any questions, queries about the Sotapanna Marga or the discussion that we had today, please forward them to our group, and I will reply to you in due course. Thank you very, very much once again. Namo Buddhaya, Jai Bhim.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you
Jomat.
so much, Bhante ji. Take care.